Back here on the Navy Federal Credit Union postgame show, joined by Austin Benigni and associate head coach Emmett Davis coming up. Blood and guts win for you guys. I mean, that's the best way to describe it. Career best 32 for you. They did a good job early in the game keeping you all out of the paint. What was the key, though, to being perseverant? Because you and Mike Woods certainly solved that lock in that second half and got to the paint quite a bit.
I mean, yeah, it's just you just keep going at them. Eventually, you're going to find some sort of weakness. You know, they're a good team. They're one of the best teams in the Patriot League at turning you over, so they know how to play defense. So you just got to probe them for a little bit, figure out where the cracks are. Coaches pointed out to us, we go attack it.
Austin, we've tried to talk about how you're able to finish inside for your size, and obviously your size has been your size for a long time.
Yeah.
But can you explain to the fans, the listeners, the people that watch you play, just a little bit about your mentality as you're getting in the lane over and over again, it seems like, and being able to score with a mid-range jumper or all the way to the rim?
I mean, yeah, like you said, I've been inside my whole life, so you kind of learn a few tricks here and there. Growing up playing against older players certainly helps. You learn how to navigate bigger guys. But, yeah, it's just using what you got to the best of your ability. I mean, if you jump into them before they get off the ground, you got a good chance of beating them to the rim. So that's kind of what I try to do when I'm getting to the rim, is get up before they can, get in their body and negate their shot blocking ability.
How do you keep a sense of calm out there at the free throw line with 3.8 to go to just stick to right down the middle? I mean, not every athlete can do that in this game.
I mean, yeah, you just trust what you do. I've been shooting well from the free throw line all year, so I'm confident every time I step up there, except for when y'all curse me. But, you know, you do it enough times.
It does happen from time to time. We have to tell people.
No, there's a game. I was shooting the free throw line. I heard Austin Benigni shooting 85% from the free throw line. I missed both of them.
The announcer jinx is 100% right.
That's a real thing.
Mike Woods, over the last few ball games, really has stepped up here for you guys. Just seems, look, ability was never the issue. I think maybe confidence to go on inside tonight. Really finished through a lot of contact in tight quarters here tonight. You practice with him. What's been the key watching him develop and really seeing a much more confident player out there?
I mean, yeah, we all know what Mike Woods can do. I mean, he did it towards the tail end of the season last year. He's a big physical dude, really athletic. So he's just, you know, early he was dealing with foul trouble. It's hard to kind of get your rhythm when that's happening. But he's done a great job as of late staying out of foul trouble, and that's allowed him to be aggressive on both ends of the court.
You got this one out of the way. Now you can turn your attention to Saturday. That's always the hardest part of this week because people know that game is Saturday, but you got to play one before you get there. What's the key over the next couple of days to make sure you get set for your chief rivals coming in here on Saturday?
Yeah, it's just doing the same thing we've been doing over and over again. We know the coaches are going to prepare us for the game and get us what we need to do to win the game. So we just stay out there, stay locked in, get what we need to get done, and go win ourselves another ball game.
Great job, big fella. Congratulations. We'll see you on Saturday.
Thank you.
You got it. Austin Benigni joining us here tonight as the Mids win it by a count of 71-69. His two free throws with 3.8 to go. 32 points on the night, a new career high for him, giving the Mids the opportunity to win this game here this evening. Joined now by associate head coach Emmett Davis, who had to come over and talk with me on Saturday after a loss. Now we get to talk to you after a win.
Love it.
Look, if I tell you that defensively you're going to have Jordan Pennick, Niles Howard on the floor in the final 7 minutes of a game that you're trailing by 11 with just over 11 minutes to go in the game. Both of those guys would make gigantic defensive plays for you. You would have said what?
Well, they're both very athletic kids who are not scared of the moment. I mean, both of them went out there. They offensively took a couple shots that didn't go in, but they were open looks, good looks. And defensively, they were both really, really good. Got hands on balls. And just played with a confidence that you don't normally see in a freshman who hasn't played. Like neither one of them have played in a while, so it was great to see.
You guys could have kept Niles in the doghouse there after the technical foul, but to see him come back and play that way, that type of reaction, what does that say to you as a coach that he comes back and plays that way for you after making a mistake like that?
Well, you hope he learns his lesson, you know, and he's an emotional player, and he had a nice block at the other end. He said something he probably shouldn't have said. You know, it wasn't anything that wasn't awful, but it was just an emotional outburst, and the referee didn't like it. So we pulled him out, sat him down, which is the right thing to do. And you're exactly right. For him to be able to come back and perform after that is outstanding for us.
Coach, down 52 to 42. What were some of the key differences in how you made the run and kind of just got back to playing more Navy basketball during those last? It was about a 10 or 11 minutes of the game when you were down 10. What was the difference on both ends of the floor for you?
Well, in the beginning of the second half, we were really struggling to score. I think we had 3 points in the first 8 minutes, and we started to score a little bit, and that allowed us to get into the zone. Because they were really pushing the ball, and if we tried to get back in zone on a miss, and it was really, really hard. So I think scoring was one of the keys. Another key, and you just talked to Austin Benigni, but he controlled the game. Like, he had the ball in his hands, and he made the right plays most of the night. But the biggest play he made, and I just told him this as we were walking off, we're in a timeout, we're down 11, I think, at that juncture, and he looks everybody in the eye and said, we're gonna come back and win this game. And we need that leadership. He's only a sophomore, but I'm looking out on the floor in the last 5 minutes. We have 3 sophomores and 2 freshmen out there. So we're the youngest team in America, and to gut that game out was really, really impressive for our ball club. And hopefully it'll propel us into this weekend, which, as we all know, is an important game.
You do a lot of work with the guys inside, and you have for years. What's been the secret from Mike Woods over the last couple of games? We're going to talk about this a little bit on Saturday, but is it just a matter of more confidence with him right now? Athletic ability's never been an issue with Mike, but is it just more confidence now to go up there, finish through a lot of that contact inside?
Yeah, he is playing with a lot more confidence, yes, but also he's got a purpose out there. Mm-hmm. Like, he's driving the ball at the right times. He's facing up in the post, which we've been trying to get him to do. He's 6'4", and he's trying to back down guys that are 6'8", 6'9", and it doesn't work. So what does work, though, is for him to utilize his quickness, and he's just got to continue to work on finishing. He had a really nice move and then tried to finish with his left hand and didn't get it done. So we got to keep working on that with him. But I love his explosiveness. Like, he's just an explosive player and plays with a lot of grit and determination. I thought that was a huge key in the game too. We had those guys with 4 fouls for a long time, both Mitch and Mike, and they stayed in the game till the very end. So
which is hard to do.
It is,
it's
really
a
physical game.
7 double-doubles now for Donovan Draper. I don't think we're any surprised by that. Plus, he gets the deflection here at the end of the game. I mean, Inspector Gadget just seems to do a lot of the things, especially the subtle things. It's things that you guys chart, doesn't necessarily show up in the box score. And on a night where mentally it had to become fatiguing for him what was happening at the foul line, but to stick with it, make a big reverse layup, then make a free throw in the second half of that one late in the ball game. Just as each game goes by, from we talk about it, it's so tough at this level for a guy who didn't play at all last year, trying to play catch up, yet he's doing so many things out here just off raw ability right now that you really can't teach. What's it like to watch this development, though, right now, knowing that just each day that he's out here, it's just going to get better? Yeah,
I'm really happy he's on our team.
Yeah.
He has a unique combination of incredible athleticism and great instincts. Like, he just has a nose for the ball. He sees things, defensively in the zone. I mean, sometimes he's not by the book. He's not necessarily where he's supposed to be, but that sometimes is the right thing to do in that situation. And he figures it out. But his athleticism is incredible. That reverse layup he made, I don't know how he made it. Yeah. I mean, that was just, and like you said, he made a big free throw, even though he missed a bunch. The big one that put us up 4 was huge. But his rebounding, I mean, he goes and gets balls that nobody else, you think can get, and he just goes up over people and gets it. And I'm sure the opposing coach is just over there saying, how did he do that?
Yeah. Right. I mean, we'll let you out on this one. The fact that you've been on the bench in a lot of these things coming up Saturday. Mike's played in, obviously, a number of them as well. What's the key to navigating the next 2 days? A, recovery from obviously a critical game here, but making sure that you stay as level-headed as you can to make sure you're peaking by 1:30 Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, I think over the years, Coach DeChellis has done a great job of, not making this game bigger than it is. It's the next game. It's a conference game. It's an important game. It's the next game. And we'll watch film from tonight. We'll figure out some things that we did well and didn't do well, try to apply them on Saturday. Army's a very good team. It's always a great game. It doesn't matter what the records are, as you guys know. So they'll come in here with a determination, and I just really believe in our guys. I think they'll stay really focused over the course of the next 48 hours, take care of their bodies, and they'll be hungry to play. They love this game, just like there'll be a packed house. It's a lot of fun. So
no doubt. Appreciate the visit. We'll see you Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Thanks,
Thank
Coach.
you.
Associate head coach Emmett Davis joining us here as the Mids win it by a count of 71-69. Just got the coach's perspective on that. I'll ask you, as the former player who played in some incredible games with the Black Knights. I mean, as a player, as he said, Coach tries to normalize it as much as you can. But is it bigger until the ball actually tips off and then finally becomes a basketball game at that point?
Yeah, and I've always said to you, Pete, that one of the things that makes the game great is everything around it. As you get ready to play, you run out for layup line and all that. It's awesome. You got to take it in. You don't get to play in many games like that as a player. But I've always said the team or the player that settles into the game the fastest is usually the one that's going to be the most successful. So after that first 4 minutes, or even in the first couple of minutes, like the team that gets into what they do offensively, what you're trying to do defensively, those are the teams that end up being successful in that game. And I think if Navy does that on their home floor, Benigni is such a big X factor that is hard to guard. I mean, no team we've seen in the league, even in the loss to Colgate or whatever, has been able to handle him. And I think that's a big thing for this team, and a big weapon.
We talk about this too, and timing in sports is everything. You catch them. Obviously, you're missing your best player in Patriot League play in Mac McDonald. They're missing their best player too, though, in Keith Higgins. Sure. When you catch a team in a situation like this, the importance of making sure you get that W while they're missing their best guy over there, I think becomes really critical here.
So critical, and 3-2 in the league standings really propels you closer and into that upper half, which again is you're trying to get as high as you can in the standings. A win here at home, you don't play Lehigh until a while out the road, and that's an important thing. Again, protecting your home court, and also when you have 2 home games this week, knowing that you got the big rivalry game this Saturday, that makes it even more important to get this victory tonight.
Yeah, especially because if you can win Saturday, you get to 4-2 in league play, and hopefully Mac McDonald can get over the flu over the next couple of days and be back for the Mids as well, because, you look, it's a walk-in wounded over there, man. Inge is playing at about 80%. Jin Woo Kim is out, and that's a guy that was starting for you at the beginning of the year. Carnegie Johnson was coming off the bench as your first guard off the bench. He's out for the Mids as well. So to win this game tonight, pretty incredible here for the Mids as they trail by 11 with 11 minutes to go. And they get the W here tonight. Radio only for Mike and I on Saturday. TV handled by CBS Sports Network on Saturday. Joe Miller has the call of the women's game on 1430 AM, 99.9 FM at 11 o'clock. Mike and I will follow with the men's game at 1:30 or 30 minutes following the conclusion of the women's game. That'll do it for us here tonight. Once again, your final score, Austin Benigni's career-high 32 and 2 free throws with 3.8 to go leads the Mids to a 71-69 victory here tonight in Annapolis. For Matt McMahon and all of our technical crew, for Mike Geary, I'm Pete Medhurst. Thanks for joining us on the Navy Sports Network.